Hi friends, Prepared Suburbanite back at you. Back in December and January of this year, I did a series on aging in place, and it was a series of practical tips for the seniors in my audience, folks that are basically elderly, I guess, for lack of a better term. We have reached the age where we need to be much more aware of our surroundings. And I called it aging in place because it's my theory that as we get older, we're going to be spending a lot more time in and around our own homes and homesteads than we did when we were younger and footloose and fancy-free. So what I'd like to do in this one, this will be episode number 6 in the aging playlist. And we're going to talk about scams and phishing and all kinds of technology kinds of things that are easily, where seniors are easily preyed upon during our lifetimes. So with that said, stick around. I've got some very valuable information. So in response to a couple of queries and comments that I've gotten on some recent videos where folks have actually thanked me for focusing in on the seniors amongst us that are part of the prepper community and all that, and certain things that we need to be aware of and guarded against. And the title of this is going to be phishing and scams we need to be aware of. And I don't know about you, but I get emails. I've got an old email account that's probably 22 or 23 years old, one that we opened up when we first moved to North Carolina, and it's I've kept it going. Not that I spend a whole lot of time there, but some of the things that pop up in that particular email that I've got are pretty crazy. There are a number of scams that take place. I get emails pretty much daily that tells me that my FedEx delivery could not be completed and that I need to validate and verify certain information. And it's urgent, you've got to reply right away. Things like, you've won a whatever, a DeWalt saw, a Stanley tool kit from Ace Hardware, or this thing from this place and that. You got to watch out for those, because if it sounds too good to be true, it is. Emails that say claim your reward, emails that say immediate action required, or how about this, your automatic payment has been declined, contact us right away. Your membership has expired, please contact us immediately. This is a renewal reminder for something that you don't even recollect ever subscribing to, but you're not a member anymore and you've got to take immediate action. And then the terrific FedEx and UPS package could not be delivered. Contact us immediately. Or your account will be deactivated. All those kinds of things that I see popping up in there, and I got a couple that I'll put up here that really kind of get you. If you open them up, you can generally not do too much damage. if you just kind of open it up and look. But while you're there, or if you have the ability in your email browser to take a look at who really sent it, it'll say something like FedEx or Fed_X with 2 X's, and they'll spell FedEx wrong. It'll be like FeedXX underscore something. And anyway, when you really look at who sent it, you'll find that it's from some guy, some person at some domain name with some kind of an email address. Well, if you click on that and open it up, you'll probably be okay as long as you don't click on anything or respond to that email. And I just basically ignore them all, delete them, and try to identify the individual and put them on a block list. Now, most email browsers have got the capabilities of doing a block sender kind of an activity. And take a look at your email browser and you'll find it there somewhere. They're all a little bit different. But anyway, here's an article from the Federal Trade Commission on what they think you should be aware of and what is a scam. So, scammers pretend to be from some organization that you may already know. Now, that's they pretend to be. They can disguise their email sent address to a degree, but they're not very careful about their grammar. They're not very careful about their spelling, and there's usually a real big giveaway because right next to where it says FedEx or U.P.S. It'll give an email address that'll have some kind of a oddball thing that doesn't match up to anything official from FedEx or UPS. Or any place else, or Ace Hardware, or wherever you may do business on a regular basis. How they get those things? Well, a lot of us, as we get older, spend a lot of time ordering stuff from places like Amazon or Walmart or places like that. And it's logical to assume from a scammer's perspective that you may be expecting a FedEx package or a UPS package or some kind of a delivery, and they just mass email these things out and hope that they'll catch you. And if they catch you, it can wreak havoc. So other things to just kind of watch out for. Scammers will often say there's a problem or a prize being offered. They might say you're in trouble with the government or the IRS, or that you owe money, or someone in your family had an emergency and to contact them right away. Or there's a virus on your computer. Oh my goodness, that would be terrible. Generally, it's a scam. In fact, nearly 100% of the time, it's a scam. So be very careful. Scammers will pressure you to act immediately. Oh, without delay. You got to take care of that balance. You've got to give us your information immediately, right away, or we won't be able to deliver, or you won't get your prize, or whatever it is. And you've got to be very, very careful. They can also include threats, legal threats. They can threaten to sue you if you don't pay this outstanding balance, or if you don't rectify your account in some fashion. So the reason that they want you to hurry and do it immediately is that they are trying to remove that time frame that's going to allow you to think, take time, and make sure that you've got something legitimate to be dealt with. And it may mean that you have to look something up. You have to call somebody. You may need to do a lot of things to validate or verify what's really going on. I get all kinds of stuff. The subscriptions have been declined and membership has expired and all that. You gotta be very, very careful. And if there's some kind of money exchange involved, they will insist on you paying in a very certain fashion, whether it be a MoneyGram, Western Union, wiring money in a fashion. They'll accept Bitcoin or other types of cryptocurrency. Use their payment app to rectify the open balance on your account. Put money in a gift card, and you got to be real careful with that. I had a very close friend of mine almost get scammed on that. I think it was some kind of an Amazon ruse that they were subject to, and said, if you don't clear this balance, you've got a big problem. We'll take legal action and all that, and we want you to pay us in gift cards. And this person actually went to like a local Walmart or a Kmart or someplace and tried to buy a bunch of gift cards, and the clerk asked him, what's all this for? Oh, well, so they told him the story. Well, we were contacted by this person, and the clerk said, you don't want to, we're not going to sell them to you. Don't do it. It's a scam. And they stopped long enough to realize it was a scam. And they're still on the phone with the guy. Okay, that's how they stick with you, to make sure that you're following their instructions. So be very, very careful with that. So, like I said before, you can block them on your email browser, but don't give them any kind of personal information. Don't give them your social security number. Don't give them your address. Don't give them your phone number. Don't give them anything, because that'll end up in what they call the dark web. And they share that kind of information among people and say, this one's an easy touch. Here, for 10 cents you can have this guy's contact information. And that's how they spread it around. So don't volunteer any kind of personal information and anything that you are even remotely suspected of being a scam. It's if you do open up one of those messages, whether it's a text message or an email message, and it's best to just not click on any links, even the ones that say unsubscribe me, because that may give them an opportunity to delve a little bit deeper for some more information that's personal to you, that you don't want out there in the wild woolies of the internet. So that pressure to act immediately, that's a dead giveaway for any kind of a scam. And again, they tell you how to pay and how much and this and that, and what means of payment offerings they'll accept. And you got to stop, you got to slow down, and you got to do your own personal verification of this stuff. There's another great article on consumerreports.org, and I'll put the link in the comments here so that you can go read it for yourself. There's text scams. You're going to get a text from somebody and pops up and anything. You've won, you've lost your membership, you have to clear this open balance, send us your information, that kind of stuff. Don't fall for it. Ignore it. Put them on your block list whenever you can. So, yeah, there's the other one is fraudulent activity has been detected on your account. And you'll find out it's from XYZ Bank in Omaha, Nebraska or something. Well, if you don't have an account at XYZ Bank in Omaha, Nebraska, it's a scam. So be very, very careful and be very leery about that kind of stuff. If you do get scammed, the Consumer Reports people say that I mean, if you do end up releasing information, if you do end up releasing any kind of funds to them, and you end up holding the bag for whatever it is, first thing, file a report with your local police authority, whether it's your local sheriff, your city police, whatever, and make sure that you keep receipts and make photocopies of anything that's going on. So make sure that the police get all the information that you've got. It will help in the long run. If you think that your social security number, name, address, all those kinds of identifying things have been compromised because you may have clicked on something you shouldn't have, go to the 3 credit reporting agencies and tell them to put a freeze on your accounts and tell them what's going on, and they will comply, and it will help. Watch out for follow-ups. If you receive unrequested credit card applications or actual credit cards in the mail after one of these kinds of things, that's going to be a follow-up scam, and they'll get you when you try to validate that card. Call that number, respond via email, whatever. They'll get you because they want to scarf more of your information there. So there's a number of great tips in this Consumer Reports article. Phone scams. Most phone carriers, telephone carriers for cell phones and all that, they've got firewalls kind of set up to prevent unwanted and unnecessary and unknown telephone calls coming in to your phone, and they'll silence it for you. They'll put it in a hold status so that you can look at it later. If it's something that you are expecting, if it's a phone call and you recognize it, then you're probably okay if it's on your contact list and all that. But I'd be very, very leery about calling back any number that they're trying to get you for. It's just not a good idea to do their work for them. So if you are concerned and you've got a bank account at Wachovia or this place or that place, and you get a suspicious email from them saying there's suspicious activity on your account, don't follow the links there. Get in touch with your bank and say, I just got this email, I just got this phone message that said that there's fraudulent activity or something going on in my account. Can you verify that? If you call them and you call the legitimate customer service numbers, those folks are very helpful in untangling any kind of a mess that is going on there. So you got the phishing emails. We discussed that to some degree, that are offering you a free prize. They're offering you merchandise, a free trip somewhere, something that just sounds too good to be true. Yeah, it probably is. So take a look and be aware. This article is very, very, very detailed. It also gets into social media, and many of us have social media accounts. Obviously, I've got one here on YouTube, and so do you, if you're watching this on YouTube. If you subscribe to Facebook, if you've got TikTok, you got this, you got that, whatever, be very, very careful. If you get a query from somebody that you recognize, that you know, that all that, and it doesn't quite sound quite right, then it's probably not right. So ignore it. The Better Business Bureau is a great resource for checking out these kinds of scams. If you see something that just doesn't doesn't jive with your experience and with your history, don't click on anything, and go take a look at the Better Business Bureau, and just doing a search query about the sender, whatever they're trying to offer, this or that. And the Better Business Bureau is really, really good at being able to steer you in the right direction so that you don't get become a victim of a scam. There's another scam, and this happened to a good friend of mine, an ATM scam. He was at an airport and needed to pull out some money, and went to the local ATM there in the airport lobby, and put in his card and typed in his password and pulled out a few bucks, whatever he needed. And by the time he was able to complete his business trip and fly back home, his account was empty. It was totally gone, and it was for thousands of dollars. So what had happened is that somebody was either looking over his shoulder, or they had some sort of a close-up reader in there where they could tell how he punched in a certain code, and that was his password, and they were able to access his funds, transferred them all out, and he was out of the money. I think he was able to get a few bucks back, but not everything, and it's very easily done. The other warning that they've got are the QR codes, those squirrely little things with lines and squares and white and black lines that kind of go all over the place. You can put your phone up to that and take a scan of it, and it'll take you right to a website. And you got to be real careful doing that, because once you get on that website, they are going to know quite a bit about you already, and if you continue to interact with that QR code and that website that QR code opens up, you could be the victim of a scam. Some things that you can do for unwanted phone calls: if you've got AT&T, take a look at their service called Active Armor. If you've got T-Mobile, take a look at their service called Scam Shield. If you've got Verizon for your phone, they've got a service called Call Filter. And take a look at those, turn them on, and make them work for you. So certain telephones, like I say, will silence calls from people you don't know. That means people that are not on your official call list or contact list. So be very careful that you've got those kinds of things turned on in your repertoire of safety features that are going to keep you, your information, and your credit safe. So they recommend 7 steps. First is, if you get one of these phishing emails, scams, phone calls, whatever, slow down. Good advice. Don't share any personal information. Delete your old accounts. So I may be guilty of that, because I've got this 20-plus-year-old email account that I'm sure a lot of data has been shared in the dark web with all these scammers, and that's why I continue on this particular email account to get all kinds of weird, goofy scam emails. Allow for automatic software updates for any of the things that you're involved in. If you're on Apple, if you're on Microsoft, make sure that you've got that automatic update turned on, because most of the updates are really security fixes when they find a little gap in their firewalls out there. So double up. Use multi-factor authentication factors, 2-step, I think some people call them, two-step authentications where if you try to log in, it'll send you a text message or send you an email or send you an SMS, and you have to respond to that with a code that they send you separately and all that. It's sort of a pain in the butt, but it may be well worth it if you find that you are being inundated with a lot of really odd phishing type emails, text messages, and phone calls. Stick with safe payment methods. Don't use gift cards to pay off somebody that's asking for a payment. It just doesn't work out that way. So be careful with things like PayPal and Venmo. I would be very, very leery of using any of that kind of technology to make a payment. If you feel like you've really got to make a payment, write them a check. There you go. Make sure that you're using the most up-to-date virus protection on your computers and on your phones if you can get them. Windows 10 and 11 have got Microsoft Defender, and it's a great, great tool. Excuse me. I don't think you need to invest a whole lot of money in a lot of the other kinds of antivirus protection subscriptions that are out there. I gave up doing that with McAfee and a few others, but Microsoft Defender works pretty darn well for me. So that's kind of a sum and substance of phishing scams and all that. And we're not talking about going fishing here on a nice sunny afternoon. So this is the Prepared Suburbanite reminding you that there are perils in the elderly community right now. And if you take the time, pay attention to what's going on, you can prevent being scammed. This is the Prepared Suburbanite reminding you to be prepared always, and I'll see you all on the next video.